Dr. Lasher, well, here we are, 50 years later. I'm not sure if this is a roast or a celebration of your entry into an assisted living facility, but either way, I'm happy to contribute a few remarks, talk about you, and hopefully educate some of the other people in the audience who are watching these remarks as to your achievements and reasons why they might want to respect you, since most of them probably weren't even born when you started practicing law. Earl and I started law school in 1963 at the University of Washington, graduated in 1966 as super achievers because we made it in 3 years. That was kind of an achievement. Just like 50 years in the bar is really a recognition of time and grade more than it is your merits as a lawyer, although it does reflect a lack of disciplinary actions that is laudable and something we should take pride in. The law school years with Earl, he was my friend. At one point we were roommates, and both of us had the unique quality of being unmarried. And that was unique because the Vietnam War in 1963 to 66 escalated and people were running out and getting married and trying to have kids, but neither Earl nor I did that. Earl waited until he got out of law school and met Kristen. Then he had as many kids as he could possibly produce in 3 years, and that's an admirable feat. So as a lawyer, Earl became my partner. He was still my friend. I don't think we've really ever had a harsh word in all the years that I've known him. But there are a few things I learned over the years from associating with him. One of them was that he is, in a lot of ways, a true eccentric. He does dance to his own tune. And one area where that's really evident is his method and mode of dress. He used to wear this coat that Art Brueggemann referred to as his grandfather's coat. And he developed a reputation for wearing odd pieces of clothing. The colors didn't match. He'd wear one shoe on one foot and another shoe on another foot. He'd wear these cardigans that had holes in them. He was just kind of like Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood in his own unique way. He was the kind of guy, if you left an item of clothing in his car, he'd probably pick it up, think it was his, and start wearing it, because buying new clothes never occurred to him. You'd never see him in Butch Blum, Mario's. You might see him in Nordstrom Rack or the Goodwill, but otherwise probably not. As a lawyer, he developed pretty quickly into a reputation as being one of the better trial lawyers in town. We actually had reputations when Earl and I started practicing law, unlike today, where the only way you get a reputation is to make it into the back pages of the bar news. In those days, there weren't that many lawyers. So Earl developed a reputation as being an outstanding trial lawyer. He eventually became a member of the College of Trial Lawyers, and he was really good in court. He was so good in court that Betty Braceland once referred to him as every mother's son, because he could talk to judges and juries in a way that made them want to give him a positive result. He was beloved by judges. And that's a quality that you can't coach. You either are born with it or you're not. And he was born with it. He always had that ability. At the same time, he made it look easy, but it wasn't easy, because he'd walk around in a fog before he had a trial, and you didn't know if he was afoot or horseback. But that paid off. If you hired Earl, you got all Earl. You didn't get anybody else. Well, you might behind the scenes, but he took responsibility, took it seriously, and delivered great results for all of his clients, to the point where I think it just wore him out. He was just not willing to make the commitment that it took to carry on as a practicing lawyer for 50 years. Instead, he only made it like 45, which I still think is pretty good when you really think about it. So, Earl, you're my friend. You were my partner. I think it's great you're a retired person, and I'm sure the people at Horizon House or Mirabella or Aegis Assisted Living are going to really enjoy your company. And because if I ever saw anybody who's going to live to 100, it's you. You don't seem to be breaking apart, although your knees aren't what they used to be. Earl's the guy who introduced me to running around Green Lake, which I did one time. And he was doing it all the time in law school and when we took the bar together is when he took me out there. Anyway, I don't want to ramble on. Congratulations, Earl. Great achievement. I'm glad the firm is recognizing you. You've given them a lot. You're a great mentor and a great friend. That's it.